Hey everyone, it's Suzi here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we're on the test server, and we have some new heroes to introduce. There are some amazing newly added heroes that are poison related in the Esotericus faction that have just been added. And well, this lord here is one of them. We have a new legendary lord, we have a new epic lord, and two other legendaries. One of them might be a little bit familiar. They were sort of added, including to Forerunner server a while ago. But yeah, I'm going to do my best to quickly look through all four of them with chapters so you guys can go to see more details about the ones you're most interested in. And then at the very end, I will give some final thoughts, some notes from the devs, and wrapping up with some other heroes that are also going to synergize very well. So let's start here with Nastya, the Iron Maiden. She is an Esotericus lord. Amazing appearance. Very, very good job on these visuals. Of course, as expected, like always. She is, again, magic, mage, a vengeful prophet who feeds on suffering, masterful in the arts of toxic torment, leading her foes to oblivion through excruciating pain. Single target attack, continuous damage, and ally buff. So her stats here, 5,300 for her base attack, cost is 25, and 2.6 second attack interval, and rage regen auto of 14. So her talent has a 40% chance to inflict 40% acute poisoning and 1 stack of poison when dealing damage. When receiving direct damage from enemies, inflicts 40% acute poisoning and 1 stack of poison on the target. So this acute poisoning increases all poison and toxic surge damage taken by 40%. So we're talking like poison sensitivity in raid, something that boosts the poison damage. Love it, love it, love it. And poison damage deals 5% continuous magic damage per second, stacking up to 10 times. Poison effects from different sources can coexist. Different sources. So let's bring on the poison team. Let's go. All right, her magic attack basic deals 100% magic damage to one enemy, prioritizing the one with the highest HP. So smart. Venomous Hatred is her ultimate. Deals 260% damage 6 times to one enemy with the highest HP and range. It inflicts 1 stack of poison and magic resistance reduction, which is at 30% for 15 seconds, with each hit. For every 1 stack of poison on the target, increases the ultimate damage by 1%, up to 30% increase. And this does add up to 30% more damage increase and a reduced skill cost of 100 with books. Macabre Fate. Each time poison is successfully inflicted, deals true damage equal to 10% attack 1 time. For every 1 stack of poison on the target, increases the true damage on this hit by 1%, up to 20% increase. And we do have up to 10% more with the damage multiplier cap increase, and 3% more true damage. Her other passive, Apocalypse Rising, gains poison immunity. Each time successfully inflicting poison or refreshing it 6 times, increases the hero's attack by 4%, stacking up to 7 times. So she is immune to poison. Love it. Makes sense. Stack cap goes up by 3, and the number of stacks required down by 2 with books. And her Lord skill, Esoteric Curse. The typical, increasing attributes by 15%, then reduces a faction team member's skill cost by 25%, and then increases faction team members' damage against targets inflicted with debuffs by 5% per debuff, up to 40% increase. So this is any debuff. It's not just poison or acute poisoning or whatever or toxic surge. It could be any of the debuffs. So corrosion, burning, etc. Keep that in mind as well. And curse. Okay, So that is the basics. Let's go into her awakenings. Awaken 1. Each hit of the ultimate inflicts stun on targets with poison. When activated, applies poison immunity to allies within 2 tiles. So this definitely sounds like a Titanic Ruins kit. Awaken 2, attack plus 300, plus her Lord skill, and increases faction team members' penetration by 5%. Hell yeah. Awaken 3, if only one target exists in range, increases acute poisoning inflicted by talent to 70%. So her Awaken 3 makes her an even better boss killer. Love it. Awaken 4, a penetration increase of 8%. And Awaken 5 deals 25% increased damage to targets inflicted with poison. Amazing, solid, sounds fantastic. And when it comes to her lore, I will read that as a YouTube short in another video, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you want to hear all these guys' stories, I will play the video with it. I will zoom into the different parts of their graphics, and yeah, we can enjoy their story together. So stay tuned to my YouTube shorts for some of those lore stories on these new heroes coming out, and some other ones that we need to recover. Okay, now the Epic Lord. Vixera, the Breath of Decay. She is also a mage dealing magic damage. A venomous witch who returned from the alchemical cauldron, corroding enemies with lethal venom and leaving them withering in agony. Amazing details here, love the vibe. Single target attack, continuous damage, and ally buff. So here we have single target attack, continuous. Oh, I just said that. 3,700 attack, cost of 18, and a 2.6 second attack interval. 14 for rage regen auto. Her talent, basic attack, has a 40% chance of inflicting poison. Each time the hero inflicts 1 stack of poison on the enemies, permanently increases the hero's magic resistance penetration by 1, up to a 30% increase. So definitely made for longer battles. Her basic attack is just to hit 1 enemy for 100% damage. Her ultimate Rite of Torment deals 350% damage 3 times to 1 enemy, inflicting 2 stacks of poison each time. And this does go up to 500% with skill books and reduced cost of 100. Hell yeah, that's some damage. Endless Suffering. When receiving direct damage from enemies, there's a 30% chance to inflict poison on the target enemy and deal extra to 120% damage to them. This does go up to 50% chance and adds 60% more damage with books. And of course, as a lore Epic Lord, it's just the basics for the boost with a basic attribute increase of 10% and reduction of skill costs by 15%. Awakenings. So of course, those soul stones, we're just going to throw them right on her when we get her. I'm guessing most of us have way too many by now. A basic attack inflicts acute poisoning on poison targets. It just does? That's it, just does? Okay, so she's just gonna always boost. That's amazing. Love that. So again, that increases all poison and toxic surge damage taken by 40%. Every time she does a basic attack. It's awesome. Awaken 2, attack plus 5%. Awaken at 3 reduces damage taken from enemies inflicted with poison by 25%. Crit rate plus 8%. And Awaken 5 increases ultimate's damage multiplier by 150%. So yes, that goes up to 650%. Okay, and again, her lore, The Wretched from the Mire, I will read as a YouTube short. Alright, next we have another legendary to take a look at. Let's go to our other new one that we haven't seen before, Vorn. So, the Shackled Horror. A warrior reshaped by corruption, seeking redemption through suffering as he rends his foes with poison daggers. Really cool, crazy. Like, oh, I love the swords. Very, very cool. Nice, interesting graphics, big ass Scary dude with a crazy blade. I like it. Single target attack, continuous damage, ally buff, and offensive dispel. We'd like to hear that. So this is a wide range. He is Piercer and Esotericus, to be clear. He's 4,200 for his base attack, 16 cost, 2 for attack interval, and 14 rage regen auto. He's a marksman, dealing magic damage. The talent can inflict 2 types of poison on the target when dealing damage by the basic attack, has a 33% chance to inflict 1 stack of poison and a 33% chance to inflict 1 stack of a different poison. When poison effect expires from the hero's attacked target, the hero gains 1% attack increase for each stack of poison expired from this target for 15 seconds, up to 20% increase. Alright, magic attack, basic attack, 100% damage to 1 enemy. Ultimate Unshackled Frenzy dispels up to 1 buff from the target. Then basic attack turns to 3 consecutive strikes, dealing 3 instances of 70% damage and inflicting 2 types of poison on the target. For each stack of poison on the target increases damage dealt by 1% up to 30%. And this does go up by 20 more percent in effect duration of plus 5 seconds. And skill cost minus 100. So again, a dispel of a buff. We always like to see that. We know we need that in the Esotericus faction trials. And of course, in Titanic Ruins. Flesh Warp passive deals 3 instances of 70% damage and inflicts 2 types of poison on the target. For each stack of poison on the target, increases damage dealt to them by 1% up to 30% increase. Each time successfully inflicting or refreshing poison, reducing the skill cooldown by 1 second. And that has a 20% damage increase as well, and cooldown minus 5 seconds. And the other passive, increases damage dealt to shielded targets by 30%. Applies shield break to 3 allied units within the highest attack on the battlefield. Each time the ultimate is cast, permanently gains 10% magic resistance penetration, stacking up to 3 times. Shield break increases damage dealt to shielded targets by 30%. Again, bosses, Abyss, Drake's Chasm, shields, we like to hear that. That sounds great. Okay, on to the Awakenings. Awaken 1. Mind of Hatred. Here applies shield break to 3 allied units with the highest attack. Or is it, oh wait, is it a better version? Increases damage dealt by 40% versus 30%. Okay, so a bigger version of a damage increase. Alright, Flesh Warp can cast 2 consecutive times. That's great for sure. No waiting for a cooldown or whatever. Penetration up 5% with the Awaken 4. In the Awaken 5, enemies inflicted with poison deal 25% less damage to the hero. Each time the hero deals damage to a poison target, restores 1% HP for the hero. So some extra survivability as well. Alright. Again, the lore I will read as a YouTube short. And Numera, the Grimthorn Guardian, she just got a buff. She has not been released to global servers, but she has been on the Forerunner server and the test server for quite a while. She was supposed to be released a long time ago, but she was found to be pretty underwhelming. And now they're making her fit pretty strongly with these poison comps, and she sounds amazing. The only thing not amazing is her lack of jiggle physics. I don't know what's happening there, or not happening there. She is Piercer and Esotericus, and she is a fighter. I love it we can get a fighter for the Piercer to extend the range. So after realizing her mistakes, Numera received the blessing of the Grimthorn Elm. She wields the power of the Grimthorn Elm to bind her enemies in place, inject them with deadly venom, protect the forest, and atone for her past mistakes. She's single target attack, hard control, and continuous damage. And her range does get extended, kind of like Ymirits, or I think that's Arrogance's as well. 4,800 as her base attack, cost of 18, and a 2.6-second attack interval. Rage Regen Auto 14. Alright, her talent. Basic attack grants 1 Grimthorn Spike. This effect can maintain a maximum of 4 Grimthorn Spikes at once, and when having 4 Grimthorn Spikes, basic attacks have a 50% chance to launch 1 extra Grimthorn Spike, dealing 400% damage, inflicting 1 stack of poison, and restoring 40 rage for the hero. She gets a bonus. She has 4, but then there could be that 5th one. It's funny, this reminds me of Brett. Same thing as Iovar. She could only have 4 Grimthorn Spikes, but there's 6 around her. It's fine. Alright, deals 100% damage to 1 enemy 1 at a time. Immediately sorry, that was her basic. Her ultimate immediately gains 2 extra Grimthorn Spikes. Okay, that's the bonus ones. And rapidly launches all Grimthorn Spikes to random enemies in range after charging for a short period. Each spike deals 40%. Or wait, can we have more than 4 though? Can maintain a maximum of 4, then immediately grants 2. I still think you can only have 4 at a time. Anyway, sorry. Rapidly launches all Grimthorn Spikes to random enemies in range after charging for a short period. Each spike dealing 440% damage and inflicting 1 stack of poison. And the damage goes up by 80% and skill cost down by 200. Poisonwood Branch passive, Nature's Wrath, Grimthorn Spike additionally inflicts stun. Hey. When at least 4 Grimthorn Spikes hit the same target in a short period, triggers 1 time of Toxic Surge with 30% damage per stack. And Toxic Surge consumes the poison effects inflicted on the target, dealing a certain amount of magic damage based on the poison stacks consumed, up to 30 stacks. So this is like your poison explosion. I think she's the only one with that so far. That sounds awesome. She's your poison exploder. And that does increase damage, 50% damage per stack, up to 50%. That's awesome. Or 20% more damage, sorry. That's really cool. And stun duration a whole nother second longer. Great, great, great. Alright, Nature's Grasp. With Grimthorn Spike inflicts Grimthorn Roots and damage reduction on the enemy. So Grimthorn Roots lasts for 6 seconds, deals continuous true damage equal to 21% of the caster's attack per second, stacking up to 6 times. Cannot be dispelled. And there's an extra 9% damage added here, so up to 30%. Or wait, no, the caster's attack. It's just extra damage. Just extra damage. And then 10% damage reduction added as well with the book. And the damage reduction total is 20% as the base. Lasts for 6 seconds. Okay, that sounds fun. Sounds exciting. It makes her feel like she's needed as part of a poison team with that poison explosion. I guess we'll see. Awaken 1. During the ultimate, increases damage by 25%. Damage dealt by Grimthorn Spike and Toxic Surge guarantee a crit hit. So, is that the majority of our damage? It sounds like the Grimthorn Spikes are the key. So can you build this hero with no crit rate? Maybe. That's another thing to consider. Alright, attack plus 300 with Awaken 2. Awaken at 3. When attacking enemies, ignores 20% of magic resistance each time Nature's Wrath is cast. This effect increases by an extra 5%, up to an extra 25% increase. Damage, damage, damage. Let's go. Awaken 4 is penetration plus 8%. And Awaken 5 heals the hero for 20% of the true damage dealt by Grimthorn Roots. So between Grimthorn Roots and the Awakening 1, it sounds like you kind of need to just focus attack and crit damage on this character. She guarantees a crit, but then the Grimthorn Roots is based on just caster's attack with true damage, so you definitely want to focus attack. So 100% attack as the main focus. Really cool. Sounds really interesting. I really look forward to seeing poison teams in action. Oh my god, that's a whole other thing. Like, we're talking about getting a whole new set of heroes, having to build up these heroes, skill them, awaken them. This is a whole new meta, right? So that's what we need to quickly end with here is, what is this new meta? What does this really mean? We have another epic that was added as well, right? We have Feilin. She sounds like she will be a very consistent poison damage dealer, and she does do AoE damage as well. So that's a different compared to the others here that seem to be very boss focused. I do have a video with Odd One Gaming where we talk about Feilin, so you can check that out on his channel, which will be linked. And then, of course, we also have Nasalt, who's a poisoner. We have up here with the Piercers. Let's go here. We know there is also, well, Esme? She does poison. And I'm sure there's another one or two I'm forgetting about besides, like, Liam or whatever, that does that type of, well, he does neurotoxin, not noxious breath. Neurotoxin. But yeah, what do you guys think of this new meta? I really think it's interesting that they're really bringing up the factions. I think they're doing an amazing job at making all of the factions relevant. It's like none of the factions are terrible. They're all amazing in their own right and for different reasons, which is the whole point. You shouldn't have like one faction that just sucks, that's underwhelming or whatever. It sounds like they're really making it so that every faction really has a place to shine, and with every faction including super OP heroes, right? I think it sounds great. So let me read to you what they said directly from the staff about this new poison team and dynamic. So the team consists of heroes mainly from the Esotericus faction, primarily focused on applies and poison damage over time effects to deal consistent magic damage over time. Some heroes in this team also provide strong buffs and debuff effects. Recommended stages are Drake's Chasm, Abyss, Titanic Ruins, Immortal Codex, Lord of the Styx, and Arbiter of Frost. And obviously the faction trials, which are pretty hard, the newest stages, they're going to make that a lot easier. But yeah, that is it, guys. And I just should also mention that we are, you know, we're on the test server and they provided us these heroes, and no one should be putting out any videos that are like, the new meta sucks, or this hero is way too overpowered, this is broken. No one should put out those type of videos, because if anything genuinely does seem not correct, like too overpowered, too underpowered, not working correctly, we are supposed to report that to the staff so they can take in that feedback first before we release any videos about it. So they really do want our feedback. They want to know how we think about these heroes. And if we find bugs, they want to know. So it's really good. It shows that they care about our community feedback. It shows they want the content creators to actually test and get creative. And hopefully, if there are any issues, we can find those before they go to the global servers. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is this idea of creating a whole new poison meta exciting to you? I think it'll be really fun and give long-term players something new to work toward, and new players something new to discover early on. I love it. It sounds great. But thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you appreciated me trying to be quick and to the point with all the details and just give you the information. So be sure you're subscribed to the channel if you want to see more details on these heroes, more details of their graphics playing while I read the lore, and we can find out their stories together.